also known as Dragonfly7673. You're watching DragonflySoars. It is almost 6 o'clock on Monday, February 18th as I'm recording this. I'm sure you will see Tigger soon because he's already circling my legs. I tried to back the table a little bit so maybe he won't bump it when he jumps up. But I'm hoping to keep this short because I actually need to pack tonight for a work trip, and I need to pack things I need for, clothes and stuff. Things I need to bring with me, like local coffee. We asked if they needed anything, and they said, "Could you please bring some coffee?" And we're like, "We can do that." And then knitting project. So, not that it's a lot, it's one more thing to do on a Monday night that I normally don't have to do. So, last week was crazy. Last week, every day last week, I worked at least a 10-hour day. I was hoping on Friday to get out a little early and maybe leave at 3. No. I ended up working until 6. And I start work about 7:30. So last week was a very hectic week. It was just long, lengthy. And the very last thing that kept me late on Friday, I had an important email to send out. And every time I sent it, we use Lotus Notes for our email. I know, ancient, but for whatever reason, that's what we use. Every time I tried to send it, Lotus Notes crashed. I tried 4 times, and I was practically in tears because at that point I was tired, I was worn down, and it was just not good. Tiki's right here, and I'm petting him so he's not jumping up. He's just very happy kitty. It was just bad. I finally sent a message to my manager saying, I know I said I send that by the end of the day, but Lotus Notes keeps crashing, and I'm just done. And luckily, she's very understanding. She asked me this morning, she said, "So, did you run home and get a beer after all that?" Like, no. And in fact, it kept crashing today. We finally figured out what triggers the crash, but it's not fixed. Anyway, on the plus side, they said, "Your computer's really old. You need a new one." And they placed an order for a new one. But anyway, so, needless to say, I did not get much of anything accomplished during the week. Because every night I came home, I was just totally wiped out. I mean, Monday I recorded, and that was pretty much it. I didn't do anything the rest of the week. But Saturday and Sunday, I got a lot done. So, this weekend, I spent all day Saturday and most of the day Sunday over at best friend's house. This normally doesn't happen. Normally he comes to my house. I have never spent an entire day at his house. There's a lot of reasons for that I'm not going to go into. But this was the first time we've ever done that, and we decided we were going to, there's a local coffee company called Barry's Brothers, which is not the same local coffee company that we got coffee from today. But anyway, they had kind of said it was a tour. It's called Behind the Beans. It wasn't really a tour. It was more of a class. And they taught you the way, where beans are grown, how they're harvested, how they are roasted, how they add flavoring, how they're ground. And they had you taste test different samples of different types of coffee and different ways of brewing the coffee. So it was very interesting. So we had a good time, and then I came back with like a whole bunch of, they have tons of flavored coffee, and they make 1 pot little packets. I very rarely make a full pot at home. However, if I'm visiting my parents and I'm staying for a long weekend and working from their house, I do make a pot. So I keep some of the flavor packets at their house, and then it's kind of like a special treat that I get to pick one out of the bag and see what, I just close my eyes, reach in, and see what I get today. So we went to the tour, and on I drove to best friend's house, and then from his house to the coffee was an hour one way. So during that time, he drove, and I finished the body of the second twitchy sock. So it was, I needed to do the cuff, and then on the way home, I did the bind off. So the second twitchy sock is done as far as this part. I do need to do the afterthought heel, but I need to find my size zeros and cut that open, and that will probably not happen for a couple episodes because I am not going to do that while I'm traveling this week. And this coming weekend there's some other stuff going on. So, but I got that done while we were driving around. So, that made progress. Then, Saturday, I finished the malice. Now, there's still an end here. There's still an end at the beginning. It has not been blocked, but it is very big even unblocked. I will actually put a picture here. Just a second. All right. I put a picture with, since I was at best friend's house, there was no kitties there for size proportion. So I put a shoe in the picture just so you could see how big it was, because when I took a picture without anything, you couldn't tell how big it was. So this also will not get blocked. It might get blocked by the next recording. I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling after this work trip, and I'm supposed to have half of Friday off. My manager actually said that anybody going for this trip should take all of Friday off, but there is a meeting Friday morning that I need to attend. So I will at least have to work from home for half the day. But it's because by the time, it's a 5-hour drive where we're going. So by the time we work half a day tomorrow and then drive 5 hours, and then we're there all day Wednesday, including a social dinner, and then we won't get home until about 8 o'clock on Thursday. We'll have more than put in hours, even if most of it was in the car. So, so she said not to work on Friday. I will have to work at least somewhat on Friday, but hopefully I can just attend that meeting and not do anything else. I hope. Now, this is purple for the birthstone knit-along. So that's a purple item. Then, on Sunday, I finished my snuggle. So it is about 16.5 by 16.5. It might be 17. It was 16 before I added the edging. It was 16 by 16. I added the edging, and I'm not sure. I don't think it added very much. So maybe a ½ an inch total all around. But anyway, snuggle is done. This was the Simply Spiraled Entrelac Tunisian crochet pattern. So I will post a picture here just in case you can't see the spiral very well. So that is purple for the birthstone along, and it is a snuggle for the Yarnivores February Animal Lovers Knit Along, Crochet Along, Sew Along. So this will be in DragonflySoars. I kind of stayed away from the internet Saturday, Sunday. I posted a couple things on Plurk, but I was not really following anybody. And I have barely looked at Ravelry. I haven't logged my stuff. I use on the iPhone and iPad, there's an app called Yarma, Yarma, and I use that to upload pictures to my projects, but that was all I did. I haven't posted these in the Birthstone Along. I haven't posted this in Sadie's Snuggle or our Snuggles. I haven't done any of that yet. So I also have not looked yet to see how we are doing. Like I said, we were at 25 last week. So, all right. Then, because I like finish things, I started the Sleeping Babies blanket. And I don't have the pattern up here. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. This is the pattern. So it's Sleeping Babies castle blanket. And it has these cabled sections and then a castle in the middle. I just started it. I cast on the stitches last night, and that was all I did. And then I knit this at work because I actually had a lot of conference calls. This is just the very beginning. It's just garter stitch and then some yarn over lacy rows. So it's not very far, but this is coming with me on the trip because I am not driving, so that 5 hours on the road will be knitting time. One of the guys I'm traveling with was threatening to sing Wheels on the Bus the entire trip. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to sing 99 Bottles of Beer on the Wall also. And I told him that it was perfectly okay as long as he didn't mind getting stabbed with knitting needles, which he thought was very funny. Oh, we all kind of joke around, so it was just kind of one of those. He's like, I think I'm going to sing. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to stab you with knitting needles if you do that. That is everything in progress. I did not work any on the new Twitchy number 2 socks. So, since we were talking about the Birthstone Lawn and the Snuggles, I figure I'll re-show you the prizes. And I will tell you about a new prize. So I will do the entire prize list for the Birthstone Along, but there's a prettier picture of these outside the bag, but these little bags are kind of a pain to shut. So these are amethyst stitch markers. There's 4 in here, but I have 8, along with the Blood Flowers yarn from Lotus Yarns. Tiff already has this yarn and has actually knit with this yarn. So she officially bowed out of February's drawing. And for anybody that was worried because I ended up drawing her name and then telling her she couldn't win, I will post a picture now of the you won but you didn't prize. So what you saw was a skein of 3 Irish girls. I believe it was merino and silk. And then there was also a little ball of My First Regia. They're these little bitty balls. They're super cute. They are enough to make a pair of like baby booties or a baby hat. So, but they're just little cute ones. So I threw it in there because they were cute. Both of those are from Wisconsin Craft Market, where my mom works. And then I also threw in a set of stitch markers that were from Sarah Rain Lover Knits. I had told you a while back that there was like a bunch of complications with shipping, and so as an apology she sent me extra stitch markers. Well, I added a set of stitch markers when I mailed Kathy's prize for KPAR 62, just as a thank you for all the snuggles she's been doing. So, and when I did, I saw the other ones that like perfectly matched the yarn I had picked out for Tiff, and so I included them. So, This is for February's prize with the stitch markers. I also wanted to tell you, Nikki, who is living for fishing, made this bag for me a while ago, and for a long time my Everlasting Love shawl lived in this. Well, she has volunteered a prize for September, and she said it will include at minimum it will include a handmade project bag of some sort, and she said she might throw in something else with it, but so it's not made yet, so right now it's also listed as a surprise prize, but it will be at least a project bag. So, speaking of project bags, we have the, this is for the Snuggles, this is the kitty prize with the kitty stitch markers, and the puppy prize with the puppy stitch markers. Which reminds me, I forgot to ask Mom about the extra jump ring for the one that's missing. We have a little bit of time, and I'm going to see her next week, so it's not, we got plenty of time. In fact, I'll just have to remember to take them with. So, those are the prizes. And then I had some things that I got recently. One, I meant to show you on last week. This was a present from a friend of mine. It was actually a Christmas present, but we didn't meet up. Her travels and our travels for the Christmas holiday, we just didn't see each other. So I left my present for her at my parents' house, and then she came a couple weeks ago and dropped off presents for myself and my son and picked up her present. So, and her present was the blue cowl I showed you guys. But so she gave me this. It's been hanging on my light because then it sparkles. And then I got another present. And this was a total surprise to me. I couldn't figure out what my friend Fran sent me. And it turned out that she went to a class all about stamping. And she made me, these are all stationery. When I send out prizes, I try to always include a handwritten note. I may forget at times, but or it's kind of one of those things. It's like, well, I can ship it right now on my way, or I can run home, get a handwritten note, and so every now and then you might not get a note from me, but then you'll get I'll send you something on Ravelry. But usually I send a note. And generally the cards I have are from Walgreens, and they're like the same ones all the time because they have one kind. Well, she made me a whole set. Every one is different. Hi, Tiggy. Now you want to come up? Some are similar, like that one and the one you just saw, and this one, but in different colors. And unfortunately, as I was carrying these upstairs, I dropped the pile and they kind of scattered. This one is actually this one's actually a paper punch. Ooh, I dropped it. Alright, this one's a paper punch card. Anyway, there's all different ones in here. And then on the envelopes, they have a really lightly stamped large dragonfly. I don't know if you can see it on there, but I hope you can. It's a very nice assortment. And they were so special. I was like, oh, I was so excited. I had to call my mom. Actually, no, maybe I didn't call her. I definitely emailed her right away with pictures. I posted on Plurk. I made best friend look twice because we were in the car when I first got the mail and he was driving and of course he couldn't actually look. I was just kind of telling him, and then when we got home I could actually like show him. So, alright, so those were presents. Then I also got stuff that I ordered. This is from CJ Kopek. She has been on kind of a dying, she dyes yarn and fiber, but she's been on kind of a hiatus due to a whole lot of life events. But she just did a small update for the first time in a while, and this is called Willy Nilly. My understanding is that they never come, Willy Nilly never comes out the same. It's kind of whatever's left, but I really like this color. And I am thinking, this is the shawl that we're knitting along for the CJ Kopek Guts Grits Pink Lipstick Retreat in May. I have not started this. And I had originally told you that I thought I would use my fiber optic gradient to do that. But I'm actually, I think I'm getting really good yardage on my fiber optic. And if I am, I would rather do something a little more special, something more elaborate and lacy, because it's a gradient, it's hand spun. So instead, I am thinking I will do this for the CJ Kopek Retreat with this CJ Kopek yarn. I think this color will come out really pretty, and I think it'll work well. So now, I haven't started that shawl because unfortunately, even though it's a knit along and it does have a time thing, the baby blanket will take top priority. Hi. I do see you. He does this when I'm spinning too. Speaking of spinning, I got a very tiny amount of spinning. Because I was at best friend's house most of the weekend, yes, I have the traveling portable wheel, but I didn't take it with me. So I spun a little tiny bit at home, but not much. One of the things I ran into is that my first wheel, because it's out, I can actually just pull it forward and spin for a little bit. The portable wheel, if it's out, is fine, the same thing, but I had actually packed it up for going to see my parents, and then I never unpacked it, and every time I looked at unpacking it was like, oh, okay, and it doesn't take that long. It seriously takes like, it's under 5 minutes to set it up, but for some reason it just seems like more work. It's not the same as just pulling it over. So I did spin on it a little bit. I will show you a picture here of an update from right before I started recording. So Tiggy's right here. When I spin, he wants to be in my lap, or he's got his paws up like this on me, which is what he's doing right now. And, but you don't actually want to be held and snuggled. Usually when I'm spinning, I can put a chair next to me, and I can pet him periodically, and it's okay. Maybe that's what I need to do here. So, I did get a little spinning done. Not significant. I'm hoping to get that done in February, but I'm not sure. But I did get 2 other fibers in the mail this week. The Trifecta of Awesome Yarn and Fiber Club is doing, I believe it's round 3. Maybe it's round 4. And they are a club by Fiber Nymph Dye Works, who is Lisa, and Boutros Babe, who is Highland Handmaids, and Melia Bella of Keegan Lane Yarns. And what they do is they join together for this Trifecta of Awesome Yarn Club, where they each commit to dyeing 1 month. So as a club member, you get 3 months worth, but each single dyer is only responsible for 1 month, so they have one big heavy month for the dyeing. In the past, they've done favorite books, favorite movies, something like that. I don't know. But this one is about geeky things. So, and in the past it was either a yarn club or a fiber club. This time it's both, but you have to pick up front. And what they do is they let everybody sign up, and then they do a lottery drawing. Well, maybe this is round 3. Anyway, I don't remember. I had made a comment that maybe this time I would get in, because so far I haven't been picked. And Deb Knits 2 said, hey, I have fiber from one of the last rounds in my trade or sell, if you would like to buy one. So I have been wanting to try Lisa's Fiber Nymph Dye Works, but I haven't had any. And usually when she does the updates, they're not at a time I can get to, or by the time I get to them, the one I want isn't there. So I bought this off Deb Knits 2. This is the Chronicles of Narnia colorway. It's called Further Up and Further In. It is 100% Polworth top, and I will post another picture here of it so you can see it better. Okay, I cheated there and also did the picture of the CJ Copic because I forgot to stop for that. Technically I haven't done it yet, but by the time you see it, it will be there. The other thing I did is Susan Pandorf of Sunflower Designs, she designed the Even Star, was doing a D-stash of her own, and I just took a look. And it turned out that she had a colorway from Into the World that I had really wanted. This is part of when Into the World was doing the Firefly, and this is the Serenity colorway. I didn't have this one. This was the month before I joined, and I liked these colors. So Susan, it turned out, had 2 4-ounce braids, so I bought one of them and somebody else got the other one. I don't know what it is. I need to look it up. She didn't have the tags with it anymore, but it was on her D-stash page. So I think that is, oh no, I have one more thing to tell you. When I post at the end, I will put the birthstone prizes again, like I have been. I also, Mom finished her amethyst doll, and so I will be posting pictures of that as well, because I always show you guys Mom's most frequent doll. And so this one is her purple one. So she just finished that, and she posted it in our threads on the Ravelry boards. So finish up your snuggles, get them posted. Finish doing purple. We have next week I will record. That'll be the 25th, I believe. And then it'll be the same deal as last time as far as when things get closed. I will close things first thing when I wake up, March 1st. And I will open the March thread. I will close the snuggle thread at that time. Try not to push anything in at the last minute because I don't know when Sadie's closing hers. She might. I will close my snuggles when Sadie closes her snuggles, I guess, because she is in the process of moving, and I don't know if she's going to be when she's closing it. I have not watched her latest episode that she just posted, and she might talk about that. But I will be kind of taking my cue from her. So, make sure for snuggles you post them in Sadie's thread and our thread. I'm the only one allowing double dipping because I wasn't expecting us to win the most snuggles. So, as far as our count goes, I just go onto Sadie's thread and see who devoted to DragonflySoars, and I count from there. I think that's everything. So, I'm going to finish up here, and then I have to get started processing this and then packing. So, and I think I'm going to need a few balls of yarn for... The nice thing about finishing the malice is the malice was almost 450 stitches by the time I was done. This is 140 stitches. These rows feel really fast because I can get like 4 of them done in the time it took me to finish one on the malice. So, however, I don't have a good project bag for carrying around several balls this size. And of course, in my head, I'm thinking that I need like 5 of them because I might finish it, which isn't going to happen. I realize this. But I do have like 5 solid hours of knitting while we're driving, so I don't know. I'll probably have them stuffed in my suitcase and I'll have to pull them out as I'm ready to use them. But I don't have a good project bag for this size. Especially that I can kind of carry around with me in my backpack and at work and stuff. So I'll figure something out. I'm babbling. I will talk to you guys all next week. That should be all. Bye now.